So a double-double, but a rare double-double with all those assists for him.
And problems create opportunities. When they have all these injuries, you're looking at their bench players getting a lot of time and improving in that regard as well. George has done an admirable job playing his role.
Okay, with the same old beat around the back to clear the way. Quick pastry, as your friend Al McGuire used to say. And a return basket on the other end by the 49ers, Curtis Withers. He's had a good second half, but had a quiet first half, and that was the death knell for Charlotte. But O'Bannon, on a big, big night, a career scoring night for him, full tilt hustle.
He's a competitor. Tell you what, whenever you accept in victory, you got to accept in defeat. I love it when kids go after that ball, irrespective of the score. Another guy we talked about getting a lot of playing time here is Jenkins because of Dean's injury. You talked about that. He's gotten more and more confident. We've seen it happen, particularly so in the last 3 weeks. And he's a defensive disruptor. That's what you want. Your substitute or backup point guard to be off the bench, someone who can create tempo defensively.
Hey, coming up next, we have a new start time for Purdue and Illinois. That follows us 9:08 Eastern Time. #1 and undefeated Illinois. As soon as we finish up, and Garcia has finished up at home his final home game here at Louisville.
I like Garcia's unselfishness so much I almost want to clap. But now that I remember the media, I guess I can't do those things on press row. But I'll tell you what, you got to like a kid who's a candidate for Player of the Year in the league, their best player, and is unselfish almost to a fault.
Coming up on 1 minute to go. This is certainly not what we expected. Slavic was terrific in the early going. One three-pointer after another as he was tripped and fouled with 1:01 left. But just not enough firepower for Charlotte tonight. They have to be disappointed. When they look at the scoreboard, that's obvious, but they had a chance to win on the road where they've been so effective. Granted, it's Louisville and Freedom Hall, a very tough place to win. Louisville's 14-2 here. But Charlotte 9-2 on the road for the year. They were a great road team a season ago. And Rick, we all felt they really had a shot to win this one this evening.
We were so excited. Here comes O'Bannon. He'll bring the house down. Local guy. Look at who's leading the cheers. Garcia's over there leading the cheers for him. That's why this is such a nice club.
Oh, what a night for him. 33 points. 11 out of 16 from the field. 5 for 9 from 3.
Charlotte's had a great season. No one picked them to finish above 4th. They're playing tonight for the championship. If this game goes to the 49er court, they could very well have won it.
Tied up, and Charlotte will take over the basketball here. O'Bannon with a career-high 33, all smiles. The senior from Louisville, Kentucky. This is his home floor. What a way to go out.
That next game is going to be a good one. Illinois, you're going to see a terrific competitor in Luther Head. You're going to see a great precision passer. Here we go. Here comes George out of the game.
So it is George, the senior, to lead for the final time.
Look at the good chemistry they have on that bench. How these guys all body bump each other. Genuinely happy, appreciative of each other's effort.
Well, you know, Louisville still has to go on the road on Saturday and beat DePaul in Chicago in order to wrap up, all for themselves, the conference regular season championship.
LeVar Seals, Cumont Greer, Drake Diener. Tell you what, Diener may not have the athleticism of O'Bannon, but his athletic acumen and his defensive IQ, being that whole Diener family, you know, coaches, everyone in that family's a coach. Everyone plays ball. The sister's a terrific player.
Yeah, they're both collegiate players as well. And they're still chanting for Larry O'Bannon. So the evening began with cheers in the ears of the Louisville seniors, and it's going to end the same way. A magical night for the last year Cardinals, and what turns out to be a very easy victory, surprisingly, over number 18 Charlotte. And they secured the #1 seed regardless of what happens over the weekend. Louisville securing the #1 seed in the Conference USA tournament beginning next week in Memphis.
And probably ensuring themselves at least a 3 seed in the NCAA tournament. And for what we see tonight, very much deservedly so. Look at Dean going over to hug Patino. He can go watch the Matador and enjoy himself tonight. He coached a wonderful game and had his team exceptionally prepared. Nothing against Coach Lutz. He's done a great job all year. You don't want to play for the championship on senior night in somebody else's home court.
25 wins for the Louisville Cardinals. They win it going away 94-82. For Rick Majerus and our entire ESPN crew, this is Dave O'Brien. And it's been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Thanks so much for joining us. Larry O'Bannon, the star tonight, with a career-high 33 points on senior night at Freedom Hall. We say good night from Louisville, Kentucky. Now, let's toss it back to the studio and join Scott Reese.
All right, Dave, second half of our doubleheader coming up. And, yeah, they're ready to rock at Assembly Hall. Illinois looking to remain perfect, hosting Purdue. Tip-off coming up, 9:08 Eastern Time.
Since 1956, people in the Champaign-Urbana area have trusted Chief Bauer Heating and Air Conditioning. We're proud to be part of Service Experts, the largest heating and air conditioning service organization in North America. That means we're not only superbly qualified, it also means we've earned the trust of Central Illinois home and business owners. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. People know they can count on us. Chief Bauer Heating and Air Conditioning in Champaign, Decatur, and Bloomington.
Now, Champaign Telephone, your local Verizon wireless authorized agent, is the largest cellular store in the area. We'll make your purchase of wireless coverage and accessories an enjoyable experience. Our knowledgeable and experienced staff will help you select the perfect Verizon wireless voice and data plans to suit your needs and your budget. Get a new family share plan from Verizon Wireless and get additional lines for only $9.99 monthly access each line. Includes unlimited in-calling on each line. For all your personal and business wireless needs, Champaign Telephone, the wireless expert you've always trusted.
Welcome back to our college basketball studio. Scott Reese and Doug Gottlieb as we count down to Illinois and Purdue. Let's check out now the Conference USA updated standings as Louisville, Doug, clinches a share of the title for the very first time. And then a good call by Rick Majerus there at the end of the broadcast. Tough road to hoe for Charlotte on the road tonight.
Yeah, by the way, I think Louisville, with a win in Conference USA as the champions, if they can close it out, they should get protected in the pod in Indianapolis.
Plenty of good basketball ahead. We've got Illinois and Purdue. Let's send it out to Assembly Hall. Dave Barnett, Tim McCormick, guys.
Hall on senior night for 5 seniors who prepared to take the floor for the final time as this 28-0 mentor and nemesis, Gene Cady. Customary sellout, the 12th straight here in Champaign, nearly 17,000 on hand, to see this 28-0 team try to take another step toward perfection. They take on Gene Cady's final Purdue, disappointing 7-18 coming in. We welcome you, Dave Barnett and Tim McCormick, and there's already been all kinds of emotion here with the ceremony that you went through. All seniors get a chance to say their goodbyes and get their rewards, and Gene Cady just got a whole slew of nice things, which we'll talk about, but they're not going to be very nice to him once the tip-off happens here.
No, Dave, this is a monumental challenge for Gene Cady on his farewell tour. Number one, his best player and leading scorer, Carl Landry, is out with a knee injury, and Illinois is 28-0. They've had 8 days to prepare. This is senior night, and they're anxious here with the Orange Nation to cut down a Big Ten championship night once this game is over with.
5 seniors start, and they are our star watch, both for the Illini. Luther Head, their leading scorer, number 5 in the Big Ten, and Roger Powell, who has blossomed maybe as much as any Illini this year, at 12 points and a little over 5 rebounds per game. They have started the same 5 for now all 29 games, with James Augustine, Darren Williams, and Dee Brown joining the seniors. And minus Carl Landry, by far Purdue's best player, the already struggling Boilermakers go with Brandon McKnight, Andrew Ford, David Teague, Gary Ware, and Matt Kiefer. This final Purdue team comes in 3-11 10th in the Big Ten. That in no way represents what Gene Cady has meant for that program. He's the second winningest coach in Big Ten history. Winning record against Illinois. He has, on 11 occasions, left Assembly Hall with a victory. And his proudest pupil for 19 years, an assistant beginning at Western Kentucky, and then many years in West Lafayette. Bruce Weber, whose team controls the tap, and Darren Williams goes to work.
Bruce Weber called Cady earlier this week and said, what do you want as a gift? Cady said, I want to win.
And then he jokingly said a few days ago, if I can just bribe Bruce into giving me a really nice send-off, that would be my ultimate, but I don't think that's going to happen either. Purdue, on their last game, lost Carl Landry to an ACL tear in a 2-point loss on Saturday to Minnesota. That was Cady's home finale, and tonight the home finale for the Illini, who are the first 28-0 team in 14 years since the UNLV team back in 1991. In Bruce Weber's second season, he has lost only one home game, and that was to Gene Cady. January a year ago, 58-54. High-low, Augustine trying to hit Powell and knocked out of bounds by Landry Ford.
47 years Gene Cady has run man-to-man defense. I wouldn't think he's going to change it up tonight.
That 58-54 score, if Purdue has anything to say about tempo, will be something that they'll aim for tonight. A game in the 50s. If it gets to 60 or more, it's probably going to be more than they can manage, as Williams fires in his 50th three-pointer.
Illinois is absolutely loaded on the perimeter. If you look at just production and record, Illinois has the best trio of guards in all of college basketball.
And they force another turnover on both the Purdue trips, in fact.
See the three-guard attack. They're going to set a screen to free up Darren Williams. Head, Williams, and Brown can all run the point, make a three, or take it to the basket off the dribble.
And the straight-on three-pointer by Luther Head, not there this time, and David Teague pulls down the board. If anybody can fill Carl Landry's role, it will have to be Teague, who is the second leading scorer and leader in assists. It's a different type player, though, you're talking about with Teague. Not nearly the inside threat that the powerful Carl Landry was. At 6'7", and about 240 pounds.
Yeah, and the challenge here for Gene Cady, Brandon McKnight is the only playmaker that they have.
Where on the short turnaround, he actually starts in Landry's spot. 6'9" junior out of Detroit by way of Dodge City Community College, and they leave D. Brown alone. That's a mistake even from that far out, as Brown fires in his 73rd three-pointer. Illinois in the top 10 in the country in field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage. Kiefer with the offensive board and the left-handed follow.
Yeah, tremendous start by Purdue. It's a slow-paced game. I know Illinois is making shots, but they're not running up and down the court dunking it. This is what Gene Cady was looking for.
Slower the better as far as the Boilers and their plans. Powell screening for Head. Guarded tightly by McKnight. And now Darren Williams sets up another three for Brown, and he's 2 for 2.
If D. Brown is making his three, he's totally an NBA prospect. You know he's going to score in transition, Dave.
McKnight. Williams ahead. One-man fast break. 1-on-2. And Kiefer rebounding the miss, but there's contact.
Growing up in Chicago, D. Brown practiced at Gallwood Park. He said the rim was horrible. You could barely make it from the perimeter, so he spent all of his time driving to the hoop. He said this summer he spent all of his time working in the gym on mechanics. It's the first time he's ever done it, and his offensive production beyond the three has absolutely exploded.
He said before the season, if this year went the way he hoped it would, He would definitely consider passing up his senior night and going into the NBA as a junior eligible.
Yeah, that would be a big mistake.
You think?
Absolutely. You know, the thing about D. Brown is that he is not a pure point guard. He's not an Allen Iverson. But if he comes back and has a monster senior year, all of a sudden, NBA scouts look at him different. I talked to a scout this week. He said right now he's looked at as a mid to late second-round pick. If he comes back, all of a sudden, maybe he's that spark off the bench that the team's looking for.
And he'll get some good advice. If he's going to be anywhere outside of the early to mid-first round, he'd be crazy to leave. But it's something he said he was honest early on he would consider. And he fires it inside for James Augustine, who is fouled and will shoot free throws when we come back. The Illini off to a 9-4 start.
The NCAA. What do you do? What do you do? You see. What do you do when you need help with things financial? What do you do? You see. What do you do? You see. What do you do when you have plans for tomorrow? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? UC Bank.
It's one of the best times to buy the best ATVs on Earth. During the Honda 04 clearance event, get a straight deal on every new Honda ATV in stock with 6.9% fixed APR for up to 60 months. And get a low fixed APR on any new motorcycle. Plus, get up to $350 in bonus bucks on select models. The Honda 04 clearance event.
Come see your new Honda today at Sportland Motorsports in Urbana.
Just add water.
The thing to remember about water is, A, it falls from heaven. B, it's the source of life. C, every little drop dreams of being German beer when it grows up. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Beck's Beard, who reminds you that life beckons and you're holding the key. And Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
9-4, Illinois on top of Purdue early. Gene Cady, 25 years wrapping up at Purdue, 512 victories, 15-20 win season, 6 Big Ten titles, 16 trips to the NCAAs. Purdue had made 3 trips before he arrived. And he's been to the Elite 8 twice, and what will always nag him, I'm sure, wherever he goes the rest of his life, even if he gets back into coaching, are the 2 near misses. The most recent in 2000, where he was stopped 1 round shy of finally making it to a Final Four, but the 7-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, and he is so respected, and it's good that everywhere he's gone, this farewell tour around the Big Ten, people have had a chance to show him and tell him exactly how highly they think of him. First 2-point try by the Illini. Their first 5 shots were threes, and Augustine was fouled on the 2-pointer, which he missed just before the timeout.
How good must it be to be James Augustine? As a freshman, he played caddy to Brian Cook. Cook made life easy. Now he plays with these guards just hustling. You're going to get a lot of easy opportunities out there.
Brandon McKnight, outgoing Purdue senior. Kiefer should be back. He's a junior. And Augustine, one of the top shot blockers in the Big Ten, now tied up by Kiefer, and the possession arrow will keep it on this end.
The dilemma for Gene Cady in this game is that to compete with Illinois, you need ball handling and strong post play. He has neither. Look at the length defensively by Augustine. Once again, McKnight is the only ball handler. They're going to try to wear him out.
Another junior, Matt Carroll, checking in for Kiefer. David Teague out of Indianapolis, guarded by Hood. McKnight was briefly open. Chris Hartley in the game, former walk-on, and again, Gary Ware off the glass that time. The replacement for Carl Landry with 4 of the first 6 points for the Boilers. Illinois 14-0 at home. And a streak here at Assembly Hall of 20 straight since the Purdue visit last January 10th. Earlier this year ended Wisconsin's 38-game home winning streak. And if there are any doubts about Illinois coming into that game, that's the game, I think, where most people around the country figured they were for real. As Williams missed free, taken into the front court by Brandon McKnight.
Offensively, you're going to see about 25 seconds of dummy offense by Purdue. They want to milk the clock and make Illinois spend time on defense.
Saturday, ESPN has 2 great games beginning at noon Eastern. Francisco Garcia, number 9 Louisville against DePaul. The Cards, with a win tonight, now can clinch outright Conference USA. 9 Eastern. Oklahoma State, number 8, taking on Texas, still very much in need of a win, most think, to nail down that NCAA berth.
College game day is going to be down there at Oklahoma State.
It's McKnight spinning against Aaron Williams, and Purdue turns it over with an offensive foul. Matt Carroll on the offensive end with his first. Bruce Weber says all the things Gene Cady taught him and all the other Cady assistants about dealing with failure and life and how you can't quit. And the tough thing about this year being his last is that he's having to live with his own teachings with this 7-18 Purdue team.
Yeah. Gene Cady is such an interesting guy. He has 2 personalities. Off the court, he is warm and caring, really a funny guy. Once he gets on the court, though, there's some maniacal tendencies. His star jump shooter, David Teague, was telling me that sometimes he thinks that Coach Cady's a little bit crazy in the huddle, but it's definitely nice to have somebody like him who's got your back at all times.
Charles Davis checks in for the first time, the tight end for Joe Tiller's Boilermakers football team. It's 6'6" and almost 270 pounds. D. Brown loose along the baseline, and he's got 8.
How pretty is that? Illinois leads the Big Ten in assists. Gene Cady told me that in his 25 years, it's the best trio of guards that he has ever seen.
Think of how many backcourts that takes in. Some that came out of the Big Ten to win national championships. Davis unable to hang out underneath.
Yeah, and Darren Williams with the delivery. The first player in Big Ten history to lead the conference in assists years 1, 2, and 3. That's a lot of great point guards as well that haven't done that.
He's going to make it 3 straight this year. Before, he, Magic Johnson, and Bruce Douglas, formerly of Illinois, the only in the Big Ten to do it twice. And the feed for Roger Powell to slam home his first 2 on his senior night. Makes it the Illini by 9. Not yet 7 minutes gone of the game. Also in Xavier Price, 6'3" freshman. The only Illinois product for the Boilermakers from O'Fallon. And their shot clock down where they can start getting serious looking for a shot. And the touch by the tight end. Davis not there this time. Darren Williams aboard. Luther Head yet to score. And bounced off the foot of Davis for a new shot clock.
Notice the spacing. Great delivery. Roger Powell has maximized his ability as much as anybody in the Big Ten, known as the Reverend. Last weekend, Coach Weber gave them the weekend off. He's an ordained minister in the Pentecostal church. So with his free time, he went back home and he gave a sermon in church.
He's been finding a way to do that even without off weekends. Amazing. Williams, another three-pointer. He has 2. Brown has 2. And there has been an assist on every Illinois basket until now. Here comes Head. 14-2 run by the Illini. Timeout, Gene Cady. And you said this afternoon, first 5 minutes would tell the story. Try as they may, Purdue simply can't keep their pace up for very long.
Yeah. Most teams play defense to stop their opponent. I swear, Illinois looks like they're trying to score from their defense. Multiple weapons. Their balance is incredible. This is a 5-man motion offense, and it's great for March. They are getting better and better. You know, if you're looking at their assist-turnover ratio, one thing that's so impressive, a good point guard has a 2-to-1 assist-turnover ratio. That's basically what Illinois does as a team.
So whoever has to play them the postseason has the problem that you can't say, well, we shut this guy down, we're okay. Or we shut these two down, because any of the 5 can hit you with a 20-point game. They all average double figures. And try to find that anywhere else around college basketball. Try to find the very many 5 senior teams. Hard to do. Gary Ware, meanwhile, is the Purdue offense. He has 6 of their 8. And Powell kicking it back out. Williams with his 3rd three-pointer. The range, the judgment, the unselfishness, and it's been on display every minute of every game this year with a junior from the Colony, Texas, Darren Williams. Nick Smith into the game for the first time. It hit with the 3rd Illinois lead foul. And 11:28 remaining in the half. Illinois off and running, up 15.
Nothing lifts the spirits like family coming together and great Italian food.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
So come let Olive Garden lift your spirits with 2 delicious Alfredos. New Chicken Portobello Alfredo with grilled marinated chicken, and our Steak Gorgonzola Alfredo with deliciously seasoned steak, each in their own creamy homemade sauces. Yours with endless salad and breadsticks. 2 delicious takes on Alfredo.
Let's fly away.
Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
My lips. If your Visa check card's lost or stolen, you're not liable for fraudulent charges.
And all that money will be put back in your checking account. Sheesh.
Signing with a Visa check card is super, super safe.
There's no need to fear. Underdog.
Never mind.
I have pair of twins. I'm also a math teacher, so I get this all day long. This is my refuge. Before Max Life, the engine was noisy. Put in Max Life, peace and quiet.
At $75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
If you're waiting for the weekend, you, A, are thoughtful and well-organized, B, have an excellent reason to live past Thursday, C, are missing out on 5/7 of your life. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
Hey, Angie, you going to the post office? Hey, Ted, you going to the post office?
Do I know you?
Anyone go to the post office? Jeff.
Ronnie?
Connie. Isn't anyone going to the post office?
Hey, Chuck.
Can't go to the post office? Go to USPS.com.
From buying stamps to shipping packages, almost anything you do at the post office, you can do at USPS.com. It's how the U.S. Postal Service is working for you.
Hey, Steve. Lunch?
I tried to grab you, and you had a brand new tailored sport coat on, and I ripped your pocket. And I asked you the next day if I could buy you a new one. You said I didn't have enough money to buy one, and you were right. But now I do have enough money, and I'm not going to give you the orange one, but we do have a certificate through Delbert's clothing store in town. You can go to Chicago and have not only one tailor-made suit, but 2 tailor-made suits from Hart, Schaffner, and Marks.
2 former Gene Cady assistants there. helping send their mentor away, not empty-handed. David Teague hit on the drive down the lane by Gary Ware, playing a terrific game so far. First 2 points for Teague, 23-10 Illinois. Bruce Weber said he couldn't, or Katie told him he couldn't afford to replace the suit he tore when he was trying to hold him back from the refs. Weber made $4,000 a year when he was hired at Purdue. He went entire winters without ever turning on the heat in his apartment. Follow won't fall for Price. And finally, it's Kiefer alone along the baseline.
Nice response by the Boilers out of the timeout. That has always been a Gene Katie trademark. They score out of breaks. They stop runs.
Rich McBride, Nick Smith, all off the bench. In and out on the baseline turn by Smith and a rebound foul. Well, ESPNU is here tomorrow. ESPNU will simulcast on ESPN2 at 7 Eastern with a special 2-hour College Game Day live from Oklahoma State. Be there from the beginning. ESPNU 7 Eastern on ESPN2. And just one more outlet to follow college basketball as the tournaments arrive very quickly.
The frustration is on Gene Katie's face with only 7 victories this year. You know, when you watch him in practice and watch him on the sideline, he still has the passion. The big problem, 4 out of the last 5 years, no NCAA. There's a huge talent deficit, and if you look at their roster, they don't have any McDonald's All-American. They only have one kid, Matt Kiefer, that coming out of high school was regarded as a top 100 recruit. They just don't have the personnel to compete.
The one thing that's worked in their favor this year is the fact that they already know who his replacement is going to be, and he's been on the staff this year, Matt Payne. And from time to time has been able to go recruit high school players and tell them, everybody else who's recruiting you, they're assistants. I'm going to be your head coach next year if you come to Purdue.
Yeah, I think they stole a great coach there because he would have been at Southern Illinois, who already has 24 victories, and he would have probably been the hottest coaching recruit after this season.
Darren Williams tearing it up. 4 for 6, 11 points. David Teague. And Ware gets the tip. Gary Ware averages barely 3 points per game. He has had one double-figure game. That was their last game, 10 points at Minnesota. He's already got 8. Katie, assistant, coaching against him today, and another former assistant to both Katie and former Southern Illinois head coach, as was Bruce Weber. Matt Painter will take over next year. He followed in Weber's footsteps, had not a whole lot of time to prove that he could do it as a head coach, but there weren't any questions, as there were none following Weber's stint as Katie aide at Western Kentucky and Purdue, and then the Southern Illinois head coach, who established that he was ready for a big-time offer after years and years and years of knocking on doors, making phone calls, and being turned away, even at lower levels. He could try at the NAIA Division II. So we're not really looking for someone who's used to a Big Ten budget.
He has so many funny stories about Gene Katie. He said that one of his big responsibilities is when Gene Katie threw his sport coat into the stands, he would go retrieve it, and they'd look on the ground picking up a wallet and some change and his keys. And that's something that I used to love, the scowl and getting rid of that sport coat.
We're near the 9-minute mark, first half. Williams doing it all. Leaps up, tips that one out with a 26-14 lead.
Luther Head goes to the NBA along with Roger Powell. If Darren Williams comes back, this Illinois team does not miss a beat. They are going to be loaded again with Dee Brown and Darren Williams in the background. McBride gets a chance, Brian Randall. They have some pretty good young players.
Kiefer. Ware has done enough now to warrant a double team, maybe the first of his collegiate career. And the whistle before the lay-in by Kiefer, who had stepped out. So still a 12-point Purdue deficit.
When you look at the balance of this Illini attack, Head, Williams, and Brown, all three of those players will be first-team All-Big Ten. I don't know who's the MVP of this league. They're all great candidates.
Jack Ingram in and out. Well, because there are three candidates, it may be that none of them win, and they split the vote. But any would be deserving. Offensive foul, Purdue's 7th turnover. This is on Ware. What Illinois has done with this 3-guard lineup rivals at this point of the season what anybody has done ever with a 3-guard lineup.
And I'm going to throw this out again because I think it's so powerful. Gene Katie thinks that trio of guards is the best that he's seen in his 25 years at Purdue. It's amazing.
Luther Head with only 2 points. D. Brown with another 3. He and Darren Williams, 3 trays apiece. And for D, that is 75. He may catch Luther before tonight's done. Luther, the league leader with 81 made 3-pointers this year. As Brandon McKnight slips inside, almost fumbled it away, but he gets his first 2. Again, if you're thinking the way the coaches who will have to play Illinois will have to think. Brown, 1 more 3. How do you guard him? Is man-to-man the best way if you think you're anywhere close to where they are athletically?
No, Dave, in my opinion, D. Brown is the most valuable player in the Big Ten. When they played at Purdue, he made 3 big threes. At Michigan, 3 huge steals. He is their energizer.
Another Purdue turnover. McKnight in too much traffic.
Who's your MVP?
Luther Head. Ingram fouled by Gary Ware. That'll be his second. I got to go with the trigger man, Darren Williams. It may be near the end for Gene Katie, but you'll never know it by watching him coaching every last second.
If you're waiting for the weekend, you A, are thoughtful and well organized, B, have an excellent reason to live past Thursday, C, are missing out on 5/7 of your life. Life beckons, and you're holding the key.
Nobody captures the best in baseball like 2K Sports. Get Major League Baseball 2K5.
Rated everyone.
The window appears. An opportunity for greatness. For glory. For triumph. The window appears. And it's gone. It's the last chance to get to the dance. 26 conference championship games in 1 week. Championship Week, presented by 7-Up, begins Saturday at noon on ESPN2 and continues through March 13th.
Sharon Andre and her family welcome you to their beautiful new Andre's Harley-Davidson in Urbana. They're ready to ride with an expanded parts and accessory department, even more genuine Harley motor clothes and collectibles, 6 top-notch service technicians, all PhD certified, and best of all, Tilly the Harley dog. It's bigger and better than ever, so come ride with us at the new Andre's Harley-Davidson, 2010 North Lincoln in Urbana, just off I-74, where
the legend lives on.
Warden Martin's 51st annual inventory reduction event is your chance to get a great deal and save big. Choose from over 300 cars, trucks, minivans, and SUVs. Like this 2004 Pontiac Grand Am SE V6 automatic full power alloy wheels spoiler CD. Only 14,000 miles. 8 in stock starting at $12,900. Payments as low as $240 a month with no money down. That's right, no money down. Low prices, great financing, incredible deals.
We've got the keys to your dream.
Back at sold-out Assembly Hall, Champaign, Illinois. Number 1 Illinois doubling up Purdue. Dave Barnett, Tim McCormick. You didn't have time to answer this before the timeout, but I'll put the question to you again. If you're going to coach against Illinois in the postseason, Do you hope that you can stay with them athletically and try your luck man-to-man, or do you sit back in the zone and just hope they have a bad shooting day?
Two things. I think that you do try to play zone against them, make it a low possession game. Also, you attack them inside. I'm not overly impressed with their post defense and post scoring. They play 3 guards and 2 forwards. They don't have that big stud that's a guaranteed 8, 9, 10 rebounds. I think if you look at them, they only average 6'4.5" on their starting lineup. So if there's a big, strong team, I think you can hurt Illinois inside.
Well, I hear you say that. I know a lot of people are nodding their heads. Jack Ingram looking for his first point. But part of what goes into a magical season like Illinois is having, Ingram off the bench, never counted on to score, and yet he had the biggest points in the game that they had to come from behind and win at Wisconsin. Nick Smith has made 3 3-pointers all year. He made the one to close off a win at Iowa, and Matt Kiefer, who's now made only 9 3-pointers all year, launches that one, and it's 33-19. So when you look at a team that's had the season Illinois has had, always there are some unpredictable contributions, and the big men off the bench twice have helped pull out. Very tight game. Dee Brown unstoppable. His 5th 3-pointer. 5 out of 6 beyond the arc for Dee Brown of Maywood, Illinois. And McKnight short on the post up, shooting over Brown. Too tall for Augustine.
One other thing to watch, Dave, is once we get into the Big Ten tournament, if you have to win 3 games in 3 days, you wonder if Illinois, who lacks some guard depth, is going to be tired when they face a Wisconsin or Michigan State team that really wants another shot at them.
James Augustine gets in front of Kiefer for the steal. 9th Purdue turnover. Ingram fouled from behind on the reach by Teague. 8 of 13, Illinois beyond 3.
Dee Brown, Darren Williams, and Luther Head are best friends. They spent the entire summer playing one-on-one with each other every single day. Dee Brown was telling me that a lot of times at night they're sitting around watching TV, and at their apartment complex, they have a basketball court. Sometimes at midnight, 1 o'clock, they'll get into an argument about who's the best player, and the 3 of them will take it down out to the court, and they'll work on their game. It's been a labor of love for those 3 players, not only to improve their game, but to share that friendship.
They argue among themselves about who's the best player, but when an outsider asks who's the best, Dee Brown always says, well, my favorite point guard is Darren Williams. He even wears Darren Williams stuff out in public. And Darren Williams will say, you know, similar things about Dee Brown. So how can you put a value on that when your best players have literally no ego? And there's not an agenda of I've got to do this, this, and this so I can go make my $100 million contract happen in the NBA. None of that at any point has filtered into the Illinois mindset at all this year.
Yeah, it's great chemistry. Dee has an Allen Iverson and a Michael Jordan, George Gervin, all those throwback jerseys. His favorite one is his college teammate. He wears Darren Williams to class.
Chris Hartley, former walk-on, given a scholarship this year, fumbles out of bounds. And now 10 Purdue forwards, down 18. Andrew Ford in to replace Hartley. Illinois has had 13 wire-to-wire victories out of their 28, almost half. They have never trailed. They have never trailed in 24 of their 28 second halves. Think of that. 4 times ever have they found themselves behind in the second half
this year. +15 victory margin in the Big Ten. Dave, they've only had 4 games this entire season that they won by less than double digits.
Nick Smith and Warren Carter off Bruce Weber's bench. 5 on the shot clock. And Luther Head still not into the party with only 2 points. McKnight beating Smith into the corner. Right now, the only Boilermaker, with the absence of the injured Landry, who has started every game in Katie's final season. Carroll has come back in. Recovered from right foot surgery. Abscess costing him 8 games. Keeper missed the tackle. And Big Charles Davis gets fouled on his foul. Sunday, ABC has an NBA doubleheader. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern with the GMC NBA Game Time. And then at 1 Eastern, Dirk Nowitzki leads the Mavs against Yao Ming and the Rockets. At 3:30 Eastern, the world champion Pistons head to Sacramento to take on the Kings. Sunday on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Pistons starting to look like NBA champions. Tayshaun Prince has been on fire since the break, and Charles Davis steps to the line. A very good basketball player, but his best work is on the football field, right, Dave?
Starting tight end, all 12 games. 34 catches. That is a lot these days for a tight end. And with his size alone, the NFL has got to take a hard look at him next year. He did not waste any time at all. December 31st, they played in the Sun Bowl in El Paso. January 1st, he joined the basketball team. Can he keep it going? Finally, a missed 3 by Brown, and Carter has it tipped out of bounds. Illinois by 16. The beat goes on.
The Wendy's Wild Card Dream Job Sweepstakes. More Biggie Cups means more chances to win. Just go to Wendy's and find the code on your cup. Then log on to ESPN.com/DreamJob. You could win a VIP trip to New York City and ESPN headquarters in Bristol. Watch Dream Job Sundays 10 p.m. on ESPN.
Here's your Wendy's Fresh Fruit Bowl.
Fresh fruit bowl and cup at Wendy's? You can bet on it. Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
For the championship.
Sorry.
No sweat. It's only my new plasma TV.
You must really be gelling.
New and improved Dr. Scholl's Massage and Gel Insoles. More cushioning, outrageous comfort. To start gelling, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
At BASF, we don't make the rain gear. We make it drier. We don't make the seat. We make it safer. We don't make the clothes. We make them cleaner. We don't make the bandage. We make it stick better. We don't make a lot of the products you buy. We make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
The Honda Odyssey has long been called the best vehicle in its class. All the more reason to go back to the drawing board and make it more powerful with an advanced 255 horsepower V6 engine. More spacious, with room for 8, and more intelligent than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea, made better.
Scott Reese, Doug Gottlieb back in the studio. Coming up on the Century 21 halftime report, Rashad McCants not in the lineup again from North Carolina. We'll have an update on his condition. Big win for Louisville, sewing up at least a share of the Conference USA title. Doug will talk more at halftime. We'll see you then. Back to Dave Tim.
And we're at the 3.5-minute mark of this first half. The Illini leading by 16, 37-21. Andrew Ford sets up David Teague, still with only 2 points. The leading remaining Boilermakers scorer, minus Carl Landry. Warren Carter setting up head, still looking, no more. Finally has his first 3 of the night and his 82nd of the year, tops in the Big Ten.
Dave, a hidden key for Illinois this year, one that you might not know. No one that I've seen this year does a better job with the ball reversal. Their spacing is incredible, and they all aren't afraid to share the ball.
You're looking at a guy who has just about pulled off a miracle when you consider that in the 100-year history of the Big Ten, only Bruce Weber has won consecutive outright championships in his first 2 years. 54-7, 26-1 here at home. So he took a very full cupboard that was left him by Bill Self when he took off for Kansas. But people forget, and it's only been a year and a half or so. I'm sure Bruce Weber's not going to forget how much convincing he had to do of the Illini fans. It's incredible to think about now, but there were a lot of skeptics who didn't think the change from the high-low Bill Self offense to the motion offense was going to work. And some of those skeptics are out there right now in these orange uniforms. He had to win over the players. They said once he won over this man, Darren Williams, he knew he had the rest of the team lined up ready to follow, and Williams draws the foul on the break.
End to end. This team loves the speed game. There's no secrets. They get it, and they go rim to rim, Dave. There's nobody faster in college basketball. And let me follow up on your point. When Bruce Weber took over, Darren Williams was the first to buy in. They were used to Bill Self, who recruited all of these players. He ran a high-low set offense. Bruce Weber loves the motion game. Dee Brown and Luther Head were the last to buy in. But once they did, this offense has taken off, and it's been unstoppable.
He makes it simple for him. Keep moving. When you see somebody open, pass it. What can be more simple? Kiefer with the three, his second. And that one thrown in off the window, nonetheless. He had 2 threes his first 2 seasons combined, and he got 2 tonight and 10 for the year. And Katie still can rage at the ref when he thinks he's right. Kiefer picks up number 3. Now look at that picture. Look on either side of the screen. It's, I'm sure, well ingrained after 19 years of assignment Bruce Weber. Subconsciously, maybe. But even the body language is so much Gene Katie.
Yeah, with the arms crossed. And I think they have a really special relationship. There's so much respect. Bruce Weber was telling us that he spent 18 years at home growing up learning how to be a man from his dad, and then he went and spent 19 years with Gene Katie.
And he says he simply taught me everything about basketball and about life. 1 out of 2. Smith on the board, though. Smith, a 5-year senior who leads here with 4 Big Ten titles. First player in the history of the program who can say that. Final minute 50 of the half. Xavier Price. At Carroll. And Charles Davis is turned away inside. As wide as Davis is, he can't deal with the 7-2 Smith. 6th three-pointer by Dee Brown. That matches the most threes by any Illinois player in any game this year. And it also gives him a season-high 21 points. And we are a minute 15 from halftime. Williams picks that one up off the deck. Price tried to foul and couldn't. And Carter gets the finish. On their feet in monochromatic unison. Almost every single one of them wearing the orange tonight. As Purdue up against the shot clock, and with 1 second on the clock, Davis is fouled by Carter.
You know, don't be fooled by the highlights in transition. Illinois is not a tuxedo team. They're all blue collar. Their break starts on defense, and they have sprinters on the wing. Darren Williams, absolutely a master at running the break. What a delivery.
Charles Davis. All three of his points from the line. As Ingram and Augustine in for Smith and Carter.
I heard a comment from a critic of Illinois that, well, Bruce
You mean
Weber,
there still are critics of Illinois?
Here's what he said, that, well, he's winning with Bill Self's players. Yeah, I think that's ridiculous, because if that's true, Bill Self is winning with Roy Williams players. Roy Williams is winning with Matt Doherty's players.
Well,
now,
it is all true. It's true in all three instances, but that's what they've been hired to do.
Yeah, and look at Bruce Weber coached at Southern Illinois. That means that Chris Lowry is winning their 4th straight title with whose players? Bruce Weber's.
And Matt Painter won with Bruce's players last year. I mean, they coach who they have to coach. As Luther Head has his three-pointer knocked out with 1.1 left. That's a ridiculous criticism.
Yeah.
You are really hunting if that's the best you can come up against for Bruce Weber.
I got a good laugh at that one. And I think that Bruce Weber deserves a lot more credit than he has been given. Incredibly solid both on and off the court. You know, you can see how good they are here. The thing I like the most is how they've handled the prosperity. They come to work after really big wins, and that always doesn't happen with really good teams. Uh-oh.
That one heads into the photographers. Airmailed with 1.1, of course, still on the clock, meaning the Illini will have a chance under their own basket to add to this 21-point lead. Williams in, Brown for another three, and could you end the half any better? Could you play a better half than D. Brown? 7 3-pointers, 24 points.
Yeah, and I'm going to say it again. D. Brown is the most valuable player this year in the Big Ten.
With a half-second to spare, his 7th three-pointer. And we're just at halftime. 50-26 for undefeated #1 Illinois. As we rejoin Scott Reese and Doug Gottlieb in the Century 21 halftime report studio.
All right, Dave, the Illini charging toward 29-0. Coming up on the Century 21 halftime report. Yeah, D. Brown, a pretty good first half. J.J. Redick, a pretty good night for Duke. And Daniel Ewing as well on Senior Day. ACC highlights on the flip side.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the all-new Odyssey from Honda. A great idea made better.
For years, the Honda Odyssey has been considered the best vehicle in its class. So, what did we do? We went back to the drawing board and enhanced its safety features with side curtain airbags for all 3 rows. We made it more functional and quieter than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea made better.
To that endless list of reasons why people fly, American Airlines now adds one more. Saturday night at home. Now get lower fares all over the continental U.S. with no Saturday night stay required.
Flight 67 to sleeping in your own bed for a change. Enjoy your flight.
Lower fares without having to stay over a Saturday night. Visit AA.com for details. We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
From the network that that brought you Desperate Housewives and Lost.
This guy almost got you killed.
He stopped me from getting killed.
The next drama that will have everyone talking. Blind Justice premieres Tuesday, March 8th only on ABC.
Welcome to the Century 21 Halftime Report.
Big first half for D. Brown. 7 3-point buckets, 24 points, and yes, it would be Illinois 50, Purdue 46, D. Brown 24, as the Illini chase 29-0. It is the Century 21 Halftime Report. Scott Reese alongside Doug Gottlieb. We'll have scores and highlights momentarily. Doug will chime in as well, but first some news out of the ACC. Rashad McCants missing his 3rd game tonight with that stomach disorder, and he is questionable for Sunday's regular season finale against Duke. Carolina currently a half game up on Wake Forest for first place in the ACC. However, that would be tenuous if Florida State had its way tonight. The Seminoles came to play. There's McCants, who did not come to play. Ray Felton spinning, throwing it up and hitting. However, it's still a 3-point game. Other end, Adam Walaskowski for 3. Big fella stepping out. He had 13 in the first half. Back and forth we go. How about Sean May running the floor? Throwing it down, 9 points for May in the first half, but Andrew Wilson for 3, and the Noles, Doug, up 3 in Chapel Hill.
This is the kind of game. Remember, Carolina still has Duke to play at home. We're just penciling them in as a 1 seed. You cannot lose at home to Florida State if you want to maintain that 1 seed that almost every analyst has already given them.
Seminoles shoot 60% from the floor in the first half, 8 of 14 from three-point country. Miami and Duke, Daniel Ewing taking in the applause and oohs and ahs on senior night. J.J. Redick, how about some oohs and ahs for that, huh? It's 16-4, and the Dukies pour it on. Redick again from somewhere near Greensboro. He had 6 triples, 29 points. Here he actually misses one. Sheldon Williams has got his back, 2 more of his 14 points. And then Lee Melchione, everybody shooting it well for the Dukies tonight.
Well, I mean, how big is the pickup of Lee Melchione? Remember, he came in as a walk-on back when they had the 5-and-8 rule, and think of how valuable he has been to the Dukies this year.
Big win for Duke, 83-59. Coach Krzyzewski now 6-0 all-time against Miami. This is the 9th straight season for Duke with at least 11 ACC wins, and boy, we got a jumbled mess in the middle of this conference, don't we?
Yeah, boy, Miami, that is not the way to play on national TV when you're trying to earn an at-large bid.
Conference USA, Charlotte, Louisville, top 2 teams. Larry O'Bannon on senior day had a very, very big night. 26 in the first half. That ties the school record. A career-high 33 in the game. And the Cardinals poured on Taekwon Dean, playing through mono, but you wouldn't know it tonight, Doug.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Shavik Randolph was to guard him in the NCAA tournament, wouldn't it be mano-y-mano?
Yeah. Dean with 27 points on the day. Another triple from the corner. Well, you got more than that? You got a follow-up?
I guess the question is, O'Bannon has 26 at half. D. Brown has 24 at half. Huh? Who had the better first half?
I guess the guy with 26. I'm no math major, but that's probably the way I would go. Cardinals 18-1 this season when making more than 7 3-pointers in a game, and they clinch at least a share of the Conference USA title. Now, Doug Gottlieb never wanted to shy away from controversy or avoid stirring up a little controversy, so take us back to Tuesday night, Indiana and Wisconsin.
Well, as we take you back to Tuesday night, Indiana, Wisconsin, it's obvious that there may not be a real clear-cut bad call made on this particular play. But if you watch it, there is the appearance that maybe there's a conflict of interest. You know, Indiana trailed by 1, and it looked like Wilkinson fouls on the play. Mike Wilkinson fouls on the play. Mike Davis obviously went nuts. But Rick Hartzell was the official who was in position. And that conflict of interest, or at least the appearance of the conflict of interest, is apparent because Rick Hartzell is the athletic director at Northern Iowa. Now, if he's the AD for a bubble team, why is he officiating a game involving another bubble team in a game that could cost Mike Davis his job and could definitely cost Indiana a chance at playing the NCAA tournament? I'm not saying there's a clear-cut conflict of interest, but there's at least that appearance, and it lends the question, why is Rich Falk assigning him to a game in the Big Ten? He's the conference officials commissioner, and why is he assigning him to this game, and why wasn't a switch made at the last second so that there's never that appearance when it was obviously, at least to Steve Lavin, who was calling the game as the color man for ESPN, he said it was a bad call. I agree, it was a totally blown missed call, but now there's the appearance of the conflict of interest because there's no call made and because he's the AD at Northern Iowa.
And you're sitting at home saying, Northern Iowa on the bubble? Perhaps. A game behind Wichita State right now for second in that NVC. Thursday Throwdowns, it's an ESPN tradition, and we've got our share of high-flying jams coming up on the halftime report.
This halftime report is brought to you by Century 21. Visit your local Century 21 office. Real estate for your world.
So, how about this one?
We did say no ranches, right?
Yeah. Well, plenty more where that came from. This next one is more of a colonial-inspired ranch.
It's still a ranch.
Not working with the Century 21 agent? Pledge point number 13. Century 21 agents only show you houses you want to see.
This one's more of a Tudor-inspired ranch.
No, it's not.
Just one of the ways to help reduce the stress of buying real estate. Century 21, real estate for your world.
New from Dolco, it's the suck-up. He never sweats because he doesn't take risks at work.
Hey, suck-up, knock, knock.
Good one, sir.
That's not the joke, suck-up.
All right. The suck-up comes with detachable puckered lips and realistic head nodding action. Also available, the wuss and mama's boy.
Some men never take risks. For men who do take risks, there's New Degree for Men. With twice the protection you need, it won't let you down.
I guess if I had to kick someone off the lifeboat, I'd kick Walker off.
Agreed. Why me?
Why not?
Ah!
What?
They tested the sprinklers on 14 and flooded the records room.
What about the audits?
We're dead.
No, we're not.
We're not.
Last month, every important document we have was scanned into a secure database we can access from anywhere.
Okay, wow.
So it means I can stay, right?
Excuse me, you're still with your old brokerage firm?
I know, but I like being able to talk to somebody when I have a question.
Look, I don't want to be out there in cyberspace all by myself.
We moved our money to a TD Waterhouse online account. Their people really make us feel connected.
TD Waterhouse has investment consultants you can talk to when you have a question, so you're not out there all on your own. You can do this. Switch to TD Waterhouse, the alternative to higher-priced brokers like Merrill Lynch and Smith Barney.
What do you do when you've had the best vehicle in its class for the past 6 years? You go back to the drawing board. You make it more powerful, yet more fuel efficient. You give it enhanced safety features with run-flat tires. You make it more comfortable and more ingenious than ever before. Introducing the all-new Honda Odyssey. A great idea, made better.
This is the Century 21 Halftime Report.
If you've watched college basketball at all this season on Thursday nights, you know we are all about the dunkage. So tonight, for you, the viewer, the best of the best from a year's worth of Throwdown Thursday, the jams of the season.
Keeping it hot, sugar to the zip. Now with the time and the messages.
They hold me down. I've had about enough.
There's the left-handed throwdown.
I'm on elevate, even on the higher ground. Ain't to meditate.
Here we go.
Fly high up in the sky. Get with the feeling if you want to look and fly high up in the sky. Birds and the bees, and you don't need a reason. Fly high up in the sky. Get with the feeling if you want to look and fly high up in the sky. Birds and the bees, and you don't need a reason. Fly high up in the sky. Get with the feeling if you want to look and fly high up in the sky. Birds and the bees, and you don't need a reason. Fly high up in the sky. Get with the feeling if you want to look and fly high up in the sky. Birds and the bees, and you don't need a reason. We don't need a reason.
Mohammed! Bring down the house, Ismail.
right, so there are your 5 candidates: Warwick, Muhammad, Adams, Gray, and Carney, and almost 60,000 votes on ESPN.com. Hakeem Warwick is your winner. Doug, your thoughts?
Ismail Muhammad jumps over a guy in a game and doesn't win?
I think it's a season-long achievement award. I guess the body of work.
He jumped over a guy in a game.
D. Brown's not jumping over guys. He is shooting over guys with reckless abandon. 7 triples in the first half, 24 points. Illinois getting it done against Purdue. Second half coming right up.
This halftime report is brought to you by Century 21. Visit your local Century 21 office. Real estate for your world.
Okay, so you shave in the morning, but your date isn't until 7 p.m. What do you think your beard's doing all day? Taking a nap? Well, it's not. So fight your 5 o'clock shadow with this. Introducing the new Schick Quattro Midnight. With 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips, you get an incredibly close, smooth shave. And that'll keep you smooth into the night. If you don't think that's important, ask her. The new Schick Quattro Midnight. The power of 4.
Take the dollar.
What's going on, man?
Won't take my dollar. Wow, that looks good.
Oh, yeah, it's new from KFC. Real chicken breast. Only $1.
You got that for $1?
Yeah. Took your $1.
Oh.
Ready for a tasty bargain? Try the brand new 99-cent snacker from KFC. 100% hand-floured chicken breast, pepper mayo, and crisp lettuce freshly prepared on a sesame seed bun. Now your dollar goes further at KFC.
When do we begin shaping the minds that will lead America into the future? When do we lay the groundwork that will allow our businesses to thrive? When do we start preparing our nation for the next revolution in technology? At Purdue, the answer is now.
Toilet running? Call in the crew. Crewco, plumbing, heating, home repair. On your last rung? Call in the crew. Crewco, plumbing, heating, home repair.
Welcome to Follett's Bookstore. Follett's has been proudly serving the University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, and the surrounding community since 1938. We have a great selection of men's clothing, women's clothing, children's apparel, and Illini gifts for the Fighting Illini fan. Come visit Follett's Bookstore, a campus town tradition since 1938. Visit Follett's on Fighting Illini game day or anytime you're on campus. Go Illini!
Well, the idea is Bruce Weber is grilling another Illinois opponent. Boy, are they ever. 50-26. 7 3-pointers in the first half by D. Brown. That is an Assembly Hall record. It's one off the school record for 3-pointers in a game. And you start the subject of what Illinois did to them, and you have to start with that 24 points that Dean Brown put up there.
Yeah, an incredible display of long-range shooting by Illinois. Get this. Purdue scores 26 points. Illinois had 33 on 3-pointers alone. They shot 57%. Long range, this gets you dizzy. D. Brown from deep. He had 24 from the corner. As good a shooting as you're going to find. And this is what has powered Illinois all year long. Now, if you're looking for an impressive number for Purdue, at least they outscored D. Brown 26-24.
Well, and then there's rebounding. Of course, there were more rebounds to go around.
Look at that number.
At their end, because they shot 38.5%.
19 points off turnovers. Brandon McKnight, their point guard, told me before the game, if we have more than 7 turnovers in the first half, we'll get blown out. They had 12.
In the first meeting, as David T. scores his second basket of the night, in the first meeting at Mackey, D. Brown was scoreless in that first half. He scored 14 in the second half. And so if you put that half and this first half together, that's a 38-point 40-point stretch for Brown. Luther Head trying to force it inside for Augustine. Into the corner, and it'll go the other way. Purdue, the only team all season to get as much as a 9-point lead on Illinois back on January 8th. The Illini recovered and won it by 9, 68-59. But again, they're the only team to beat Bruce Weber here in 2 years. That coming January a year ago. And playing without their best player for the rest of their season, Carl Landry with a torn ACL Saturday in the loss to Minnesota.
And Dave, when you lose Landry, it's like losing a player and a half. He provided toughness and rebounding on defense. Offensively, he was their only consistent low post scorer, and he created space for their perimeter guys.
And he led the Big Ten in free throws made and attempted. And without him, only Charles Davis off the bench has gotten to the free throw line. Darren Williams with 15 now. And his fourth free.
This is as simple as I can put it. When Illinois shoots like this, they're unbeatable. I don't care about Wake Forest and North Carolina and Kansas. Illinois is unbeatable when they shoot the ball like this.
Who kicked it last may be this call, although really the clock stopped on who, or should have, on who kicked it first. The one for each team did. It's going to be Purdue inbounding, Brandon McKnight. At Kiefer with 10 points, their leading scorer, including a couple of rare three-pointers. And held off by Augustine. Luther Head showed his unselfishness, 5 points, but 5 assists in the first half. Not looking all that much for his own shot because he knew how hard his teammates, Williams and Brown, were. That's just how it works with this Illinois team.
And another offensive rebound. Augustine and Powell are the heartbreakers. Purdue does a pretty nice job. They force a missed shot, and it just rips their heart and their soul out when they go ahead and they get an offensive rebound and get another opportunity.
David Teague staggering just as far as he can get before having to be helped the rest of the way toward the bench. He stopped about 20 feet away. He couldn't make it as far as the Purdue bench. And just one more thing that's colored this final season for Gene Cady. They have not had the kind of roster that can afford a lot of injuries, but they had them anyway, and they finally lose in the last worst blow their best player, Landry. Augustine will go for a three-point play. 6'10" junior, expected to redshirt his freshman year. He was too good to sit, and he's gotten better every year.
Really impressive young player. An athlete, will play in the NBA someday. Good shot blocker. As you see the left, I always think it's a big advantage for a kid like Augustine to be a left-handed shot blocker. Bill Russell, David Robinson. When you're left-handed, your left hand would block shots is right on the right-handed shooter's shooting hand.
This by McKnight is knocked all the way out to Chris Hartley. And now Brandon open for a three-pointer from the corner. And the Boilermakers still down 56-31. Roger Powell call for steps. This Illinois team putting together back-to-back outright Big Ten titles. Their first since 1951 and 52. The last Big Ten team to repeat actually did a three-peat, and that was Cady's mid-90s Purdue crew, 94, 95, and 96.
Look at the defensive pressure by Illinois. It's an all-out blitz every possession because they know that Purdue lacks the playmakers. You can see it.
Gary Ware. And Luther Head now injured as he staggers off the contact with Hartley. That'll be just his first.
You know, the problems were predictable for Gene Katie this year. If you look at the roster, they lost 7 players last year. They lost their top scorer and rebounder. They lost their best assist guy. Had a couple of injuries. You cannot have that kind of a defection and an injury problem and to be able to expect to compete at this level.
Luther Head now. Shaken up just briefly. We, by the way, are going to have a chat with the new Illinois football coach momentarily, Ron Zook. As Gene has a little fun, look like with the footwear of Andrew Ford. Senior, second generation Boilermaker from West Lafayette. With mid-90s teams, the high point in the 25 years for Katie leading the Boilermakers. And you're looking at the high point for the Illini program as McKnight now back-to-back three-pointers. 4 titles in the last 5 years, 24 straight Big Ten wins in the regular season, the 3rd longest streak any Big Ten team has ever put together. And they finish up Sunday at Ohio State, a team they beat by 19 here.
And if they are able to finish that, they would be 30-0. And that would be the greatest regular season in Big Ten history.
Rich McBride call for the Illinois foul. It's a lot harder, obviously. Let's look at how long it's been since the last undefeated season, 29 years. One reason it's harder to run an entire table is you have to win so many more games than, say, the John Wooden UCLA team. They were 30-0 with national championships back in the 60s, early 70s. 30 wins was all they had to play. Not that it takes anything away from those accomplishments, but Illinois, as Powell gets hammered, Illinois will be at 30-0 before they even get to the Big Ten tournament. And if you put it in marathon terms, they're 3/4 of the way through their season. They still have the equivalent of about 6.5 miles left of a marathon. And we'll be joined by football coach Ron Zook when we come back.
The new season of Dream Job, live every Sunday night at 10 on ESPN.
I see you all the time. A little bit to give me a line. Give me a line. Give me a love. Give me a taste. Yeah, that's right. You're gonna have to chase me.
When it comes to shipping, talk is cheap. Mistakes aren't. Ron's got the horsepower. They've got the planes, the technology. Truth is, I don't care how they do it. I just care that my packages get there on time. Hey, all I ask for is perfection. Other than that, I'm pretty easy.
UPS delivers more packages on time than anyone. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
I've got 3 studios in my house. This is where I do the watercolors. Out here, I like to work with acrylic. Here's where I work with oils. I put Max Life in there, and from one change to the next, you don't have to add any oil. No more leaks. This artwork's not for sale.
At $75,000, time to switch to Max Life. And now look for Max Life oil filters. Another good reason to switch to Max Life.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. Just trying to decipher these numbers.
Visit the largest job website, careerbuilder.com. A better job awaits.
Scott Reese in the studio. North Carolina looking to sew up a share of the ACC regular season title, but nobody told the Seminoles of Florida State. Jason Rich rising fire. That tied it up. Right now, the Noles up by 2. David Tim.
Well, the Illini up by 22 here with 15:40 to go, and we are joined by the new head coach of Illinois football, Ron Zook. My first question to you was a silly one. I knew. I said, well, you're all settled in, right? You got your house moved in. All the boxes are unpacked. No, you're still living in a hotel.
I'm in a hotel, actually, and but no, we got a lot of work to do, and haven't had time to even think about getting settled in.
Well, you're known, and you have been known as a great recruiter. How did your first recruiting session here go?
I'm excited about it. I really am. I mean, obviously, it takes time to see what they can do, but I really feel like this is an opportunity that these guys come in there and have guys that are going to have the opportunity to play young and play early, and so it's, I think it really went well for us.
Ron, you spent time in the SEC. How familiar are you with the Big Ten? Your thoughts on Michigan, Ohio State, and the competition here?
Well, 2 years, my first 2 years at Florida, we played Michigan, we played Iowa in the bowl game, and I tell you what, I'm from the Big Ten, from Ohio area, and so I understand this conference and how good it really is.
What do you think of this environment here? Everybody has orange on, and I see you've got your orange shirt, too.
It's a special place. It really is. We got to try to get the same environment across the street.
Well, it hasn't been that long, just a couple of years, really, since Illinois football was on top and went all the way to the Sugar Bowl.
At 2001.
You get this question. I'm sure this is the classic new coach question. How far do you think you are from having a competitive team here?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, once again, we got to get out and practice, and I think we'll have a better idea where we're really at the end of spring football. But obviously, we got a lot of work to do, but the attitude has been super, and we're looking forward to getting going.
Well, we wish you the best of luck, and we'll enjoy watching as you take the reins this coming fall.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Thanks a lot.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Ron Zook, incoming head football coach of the Illini. Roger Powell picking up his third foul a moment ago. And David Teague is okay after staggering off the court a couple of minutes ago. He's back in. And a deep corner three-pointer missed by Ford. Davis there to foil the fast break before Luther Head could get it started. Ford missing another three, and the rebound foul. This could be Teague or Davis. It's going to be Teague with his third.
Yeah. This environment is absolutely incredible. Gene Cady was telling me that he thinks that Illinois feeds off the energy of this crowd better than any other team in the Big Ten. And I think up near the top there, Dave, I see a guy that's not wearing orange. We need to get him out of here.
He's going to have his season tickets pulled. That was one of the first things Liz Weber did when he took over. He wanted to emphasize orange as the primary color. And they have taken that about as far as you can. This is 16,618, and seriously, 16,600 at least are following his wishes. And it's the students, it's the Orange Crush, and it's all the way up to the very top row of Assembly Hall. Roger Powell at the line. And so it just adds to the effect if you're a visiting player walking into what looks like the most intimidating place imaginable when it's already as noisy as it is, and then you look and you see this kind of visual unity. Is there any place anywhere near this when you played in the Big Ten?
No. I would say that Indiana was close, but a lot of it was their teams were so good. I know Michigan State, when they get their whiteout in the Breslin, is also an intimidating place. But this is the best in the Big Ten right now, and a lot of it's the team.
Teague with the miss, Head with the board. Breslin Center is not quite as big as the Assembly Hall here in Champaign. Noise-wise, I think they compare, but I don't think I've ever seen an all-green or all-white Breslin Center crowd the way this one is always all orange.
This motion game is going to be so hard to stop in the NCAA. It's a five-man motion. And the reason I like it so much at this time of year, sets are really easy to scout. You know, the coaches are yelling them out during the game. These are all tendencies, and I think they're going to be very hard to cover.
Ingram misfiring, and Davis in for the board.
You made a real good comment about how unselfish this team is, Dave. I couldn't agree with you more. They have so many weapons, but it is unusual to find a team that is so good that is not afraid to share the ball.
Equal parts, talent and lack of ego. Davis, a little bit awkward maybe, but almost in the miss. His first field goal and 6 point. And it doesn't take long for Darren Williams to answer.
Yeah, it's a good idea to not celebrate your score for very long against the Illini. Michigan State and Illinois push it after baskets, makes and misses better than anybody else in the Big Ten, among the best in the nation.
Darren Williams, 17 points. D. Brown still at 24. He's letting everybody else get the shots this half. He had 24 7 threes first half. That something else that is falling right in Illinois' lap. The three places they would have to go to win the national title: Chicago twice, regionals, as well as the Big Ten tournament, and then the Final Four, of course, in St. Louis. So you're not looking at more than a 3-hour drive anywhere Illinois has to go en route to the national title.
Yeah, bus trips, and their fans will be in full effect wherever they play.
Well, my question as you look at their resume is, how in the world are they still only number 2 in RPI? Doesn't that present a convincing argument against whatever their system is? If you can put a team that has any losses over a team that has yet to lose this deep into the season.
Yeah, RPI does not matter in this case. They're number 1 overall. David, in 237 hours, basketball fans are going to have that bracket in hand. And I can tell you right now, the Illini are the number 1 overall seed.
Well, Illinois has been a sure thing for the tournament. Teague missing another 3. And so has Michigan State. So has Wisconsin. Luther Head will go for a 3-point play. And I think we agree that Minnesota should also now be a sure thing with 20 wins, with 10 conference wins.
Yeah, the cloud has been lifted when you have 20 wins and 10 in the Big Ten. Dave, you did your research, and you said that if you win double digits in this conference, you are going.
Well, the last 20 years, every eligible Big Ten team that won 10 conference games got a bid. The underline there is for eligible. There were teams like Michigan 2 years ago and Illinois in '91 that were on probation and were ineligible. But in Minnesota's case, they have that history behind them. For 2 decades, teams out of this league that have done what they've done this year have all been rewarded with NCAA bids.
Yep. Dan Munson has done a super job this year. Maybe they're lacking some of the marquee non-conference, but he had his team grow early in the season, and it all started at a key matchup at Nebraska.
Nick Smith misses the step-back jumper.
So the Big Ten will have 4. Illinois, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Indiana, Iowa still have a good deal of work to do.
Now, Indiana can look at that same history, and if they win their last game, there's no question, figure that they should also have proved their case for the NCAA bid. We're about to come up on a chance to look at their resume, and Iowa, a team that you wouldn't think would have a prayer, but there's just a little sliver of history that might help them out as Williams gets the benefit of the feed to him this time from Nick Smith.
Was that Nick Smith or Bill Walton delivering the ball in the low post? My goodness.
19 for Williams. Still 24 for D. Brown, and Luther Head with 8 and 5 assists. College basketball's best 3-headed backcourt. Deadly from the start tonight in this home finale. The undefeated, unanimous #1 team in the country.
Now, I said D. Brown's Big Ten MVP. You like Darren Williams, is that correct?
I like Darren Williams for MVP. Runs the show. I mean, you could say that they're all, in a sense, point guards, because you're going to see D. Brown handle the ball a lot. He's 3rd in the Big Ten in assists. Luther Head, 6th in the Big Ten in assists. But Darren Williams is about to lead the league for his 3rd straight year and can hit 20-plus points if that's needed, and can get you 5, 6, 7 rebounds. Ingram, nice reverse. And I think maybe also give him the extra nod because, as we were talking about in the first half, he was really the first to get on board last year with the Bruce Weber system, the first to see the benefits of the motion offense. As he and McKnight slide into the front court, and Williams going to have to be helped up, but hopefully okay. Bill Russell Jr. hitting him a moment ago. Timeout.
His first dance as husband and wife.
Son, the alfalfa's growing good.
I don't want to be a farmhand. I want to shoot hoops.
Down by 1, 3 seconds left.
See all the college hoops on ESPN's Big Monday.
At BASF, we don't make the seats. We make them more comfortable. We don't make the lipstick. We make it brighter. We don't make the jacket. We make it warmer. We don't make the floor, we make it tougher. We don't make a lot of the products you buy, we make a lot of the products you buy better. BASF.
Fresh, made to order. Sonic's got it, others don't. At Sonic, you won't find any microwaves around here, but you will find delicious all-beef burgers served with the freshest ingredients and made after you order them, the way you like them. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Introducing the new Brita AquaView, the only filter with a window that lets you see what it takes out of your tap water. One AquaView filter lasts up to 4 months, eliminating 95% of lead, sediment, and chlorine taste from your tap water, day after day after day. It takes out what you don't want to take in. See the difference? The new Brita AquaView, just $39.99 for cleaner water every day. Brita, just add water.
For the championship.
Sorry.
No sweat. It's only my new plasma TV.
You must really be gelling.
New and improved Dr. Scholl's Massage and Gel Insoles. More cushioning, outrageous comfort. To start gelling, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
Proper respect being paid to the 5 outgoing Illinois seniors in their final Assembly Hall appearance, including Roger Powell, Nick Smith, that's Bill Walton Jr. Who said Russell? Somebody on our truck say Bill Russell Jr.? When did he ever pass? Jack Ingram, out of San Antonio, transferred from Tulsa, where he was recruited by Bill Self, followed him here, ends up finishing his career under Bruce Weber, and Luther Head from Chicago. And then there's Fred Nkemde, who has yet to see any action on the floor, but I bet he sees something pretty quickly. Their lone walk-on this year. Darren Williams at 20 points now.
Big power guard. Says his favorite player is Jason Kidd of New Jersey. He reminds me more of Denver's Andre Miller. Knows how to run a team real well, and he could score a lot more points, but as you mentioned, his value is running the team a sparkling 6 assists, 0 turnover night, scoring a lot of points, playing some defense too.
6 more assists tonight. He is 5 away from Bruce Douglas's Illinois single season record of 200. Set at 84-85. And with a year to go, 2nd career assist. Adam Liddell stepped on the sideline. Now here's the case Iowa can make. Those are some pretty impressive key wins. Louisville, Texas back when they were full strength. Texas Tech Iowa State, all three of whom have done some Big 12 damage. And then also, as Brown hits his 8th three-pointer of the day, which ties the school record. 8 threes. Kevin Turner at UCLA, December 30 of '97. The first 8 three-point game for the Illini, and the first points of the second half for D. Brown tie that record. Look out, James Augustine.
Illinois relies heavily on 2 or 3 major scoring spurts per game, and it's usually off the defensive end.
14-0 run, punctuated by a flying James Augustine slammer.
Mr. Goodwrench, who is this one and only GM expert? I gotta find this guy. You're Mr. Goodwrench?
Yep.
Which means you use genuine GM parts.
Well, actually, we all do.
Now you're just trying to throw me. Mr. Goodwrench had over 1 million hours of GM training last year?
That's right.
Doesn't leave much time for Mrs. Goodwrench now, does it?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at over 7,000 GM dealerships nationwide.
If Mr. Goodwrench were a tool, what kind of tool would he be?
A wrench?
Ooh, sorry, miter saw is what we were looking for. Miter saw.
The window appears. An opportunity for greatness. For glory. For triumph. The window appears. And it's gone. It's the last chance to get to the dance. 26 conference championship games in 1 week. Championship Week, presented by 7-Up, begins Saturday at noon on ESPN2 and continues through March 13th.
There is no better time to build than today. Drake Homes understands each customer is an individual. We like the challenge of creating something new each time. Drake Homes combines creativity and expertise to allow you to truly enjoy building the house you've always dreamed of. The best move you'll ever make, Drake Homes. Call today for your appointment, 800-356-2572, and visit us online at drakehomes.com.
You're booked on a flight from a faraway airport. You figure 2 hours to get there, an hour or so for parking and security. You should make your flight if you don't hit traffic. Next time, fly CMI, offering convenient air service from right here in Champaign-Urbana. Now with new direct service to Dallas-Fort Worth. To find out more, visit Willard on the web at flycmi.com. So whether you're traveling for work or fun, or welcoming family and friends visiting Central Illinois, Willard is the place for spirited send-offs and happy homecomings. Fly CMI.
Scott Reese with a SportsCenter in-game update. North Carolina starting to pull away from Florida State, and the fabulous freshman Marvin Williams. Nice look there from Ray Felton. Carolina leads it by 9, 6 to play, guys.
Well, and the team on the heels of Illinois having a much tougher time of it. Illinois with a 16-0 run. Purdue working on 4.5 minutes since they last scored, and this three-pointer missed by Adam Liddell, redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and Bruce Weber takes no satisfaction in doubling up the score on his mentor, but his team is so incredibly focused. It's senior night. These guys want to cut down a Big Ten championship net after this game.
Well, he's got Rich McBride, Jack Ingram, and Warren Carter in, all off the bench, and only Powell and Head remain from the starting group. D. Brown, after that school record tying 8 three-pointer, also his career high game now, 27 points. Previous best was his freshman year, 25. David Teague, injured earlier tonight, didn't sit long. And the futility continues for the Boilers. Now well over 5 minutes since their last point. Luther Head, nifty job getting free in the lane, but Liddell was there to make it a one-shot possession.
Gene Katie's legacy in his 25 years in West Lafayette is going to be the Rottweiler defense that they played, really mean, aggressive, and attacking. But when you look at their personnel, they really lack the athletes to get after people, especially on the perimeter.
They're
think another legacy was articulated really well by Jay Price, who is now an assistant to Weber here, but Life Weber, longtime assistant to Katie at Purdue there from 94 to 2003. And he said before the game what he most remembers about his years with Katie is the fact that he never gave up, not just on a game, but he never gave up on a player. Even if the player had given up on himself, even if all the fans, everybody else in the program had given up on that player, Gene Katie never would. As long as he had anybody showing up to play, he always figured he could help them get better. And in almost every case, he was able to do that. In his 25 years running the program, Luther Head will go for another three-point play. Brown again at a career-high 27. 8 threes, tying the school record of Kevin Turner on a memorable senior night.
Walk me through this. Mr. Goodwrench can service an entire car?
I guess you could call it a one-stop shop.
I could, but I won't, and you can't make me.
What you doing? Goodwrench maintenance. It's like a physical for your car.
That makes you a cardiologist. Obviously, I'm joking.
Find Mr. Goodwrench at all GM dealerships nationwide.
And try it now.
Kid, how many fingers I got up?
4.
What city are we in?
I don't know.
You remember what you did last night?
No.
Remember what I did last night?
No.
He's fine. It's all good. Let him in.
Embrace the spotlight. Greatness won't come to you. You have to reach for it. Bass, reach for greatness.
Nobody captures the best in baseball like 2K Sports. Get Major League Baseball 2K5.
Rated everyone.
ESPN2's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Mr. Goodwrench, found at all GM dealerships nationwide, and Las Vegas, the town where nobody knows your game plan, only Vegas.
The best at their best tonight, leading by 40 with an 18-0 run. The last Purdue points 7 minutes ago. They missed their last 12 shots. Now back to Iowa. You would think with a 6-9 record and with their best player long gone at this point, Pierre Pierce, that Iowa would really have no hope at all. What they can fall back on is just a little bit of history. First of all, they are the only team that has won 4 games in 4 days to win a Big Ten tournament. And that was early in Steve Walford's tenure there. Also, there was a team back in 1999 that was also below 500 in Big Ten play that got an at-large NCAA bid. It was Purdue when they were 7-9. The next year, of course, they got stopped 1 spot shy of the Final Four. So if Iowa has the magic in them that they had a few years ago, that's doubtful, of course, missing their best player. But that's what the conference tournaments are all about. It's about hope and wiping bad memories out and getting fresh starts. Rich McBride with a 3.
The NCAA selection committee will not look favorably upon the fact that Pierre Pierce is gone, and their key victories in Maui were powered by his play. And to the bench goes Luther Head for the last time. He's a senior.
He leads with 11 points. And the scoreless stretch continues for Purdue now. Well, ESPNU is here, about to debut tomorrow with a simulcast here on ESPN2. 7 Eastern, a special 2-hour college game day live from Oklahoma State. So be there from the beginning for ESPNU, and then you and I get to be there for history.
Yep, Eastern Kentucky and Southeast Missouri State will be doing that game. And kind of an interesting thing. There's 5 guys coming in for Purdue. There's no players on Purdue's bench.
The Indiana tournament resume now. 9-6 in the conference, and they finish up Saturday against Northwestern. So they will be favored to be 10-6 going into the Big Ten tournament. They can fall back on that same 20-year history. Every eligible Big Ten 10-win team has gotten an NCAA bid.
Yeah, and the advantage for the Hoosiers is they played a killer schedule. Roger Powell, the Reverend, goes out. Indiana played North Carolina, Connecticut, Notre Dame, Kentucky, and they had that buzzer loss, which was disputed against Charlotte. They played the big boys.
If I'm on the selection committee, I have to consider that Charlotte game in Indiana's case as a win, because if it were officiated correctly, if the officials had been given the shot that they really needed, which showed that the clock had run out on Charlotte and the last shot should not have counted. If I'm on the selection committee, Indiana did everything they needed to do to get that win, and how big a win that is now against Charlotte, the way their season is.
Yeah, and last 10 games, they're finishing very strong.
That's taking nothing away from Charlotte. They got the win. It was nothing they could control, but that's simply an officiating mistake that went in their favor. Purdue stuck on 36 points, and finally, at the shot clock buzzer, Charles Davis hits. And they had gone not since 13:28, 8.5 minutes without a single point. Bench just about clear now. Sean Pruitt, 6'8" freshman from Aurora, Illinois, and Fred Nkemde, the 5th outgoing senior, and the lone walk-on for the Illini also in.
Bruce Weber knew that this team was special, and it wasn't necessarily from the pounding they gave preseason #1 Wake Forest. It was after that game when they came back and they beat a very good Arkansas and then Georgetown team, especially on the road. He said they're focused, and he knew that they had some special things in store this season.
Purdue shooting 28% from the field. 15 out of 54, 4 of 17 threes. Illinois 56.5%, 54% threes. And with 3:59 remaining in the home season here at Assembly Hall for the 5 seniors who are about to go 29-0.
What is that?
Don't diss my wheels, Happy. She may not be fast, but she sure is yellow. You and me, 4 laps, winner takes all. Oh, what? Good question. Say, is Mr. Goodwrench around?
Find Mr. Goodwrench at all GM dealerships nationwide.
The bigger the stage, the bigger the opportunity. Greatness won't come to you. You have to reach for it. Bass, reach for greatness.
I play 4 instruments, 5 including my car. My engine used to sound terrible. I put Max Life in, and it runs smooth and strong.
At $75,000, time to switch to Max Life.
For the championship.
Sorry.
No sweat. It's only my new plasma TV.
You must really be gelling.
New and improved Dr. Scholl's massage and gel insoles. More cushioning, outrageous comfort. To start gelling, see the doctor. Dr. Scholl's.
Hey, Mr. Randall.
I gotta get out of that back room.
Spending too much time on paperwork? Then get the Visa business card. And forget about checks and sorting charges from your personal card, because all your expenses are detailed on one statement. Visa Business. Just about everything you need to run a better business.
Here's your Wendy's Fresh Fruit Bowl.
Fresh Fruit Bowl and Cup at Wendy's? You can bet on it.
Honeydew, cantaloupe, pineapple, and grapes with a low-fat yogurt dip. Only at Wendy's. It's better here.
Getting geared up for championship week. Opening round of the Northeast Conference. The top seed Monmouth in some trouble, but Marcus Alston with a layup with 1.4 on the clock. Central Connecticut State with one last chance at the buzzer. No, sir, and the Hawks survive and advance. Dave and Tim, as we know, that's what it's all about.
Well, the madness has begun. Here, Illinois by 43. Gene Cady has always been disarmingly honest, even about himself, and what he has said to sum up this last year. They're about to go 7-19 on this year. He says, I don't think the kids cope too well with coaches like me anymore. I'm too demanding. It feels like we're cowboys always going down into a canyon to be ambushed. I'm getting out at the right time.
A funny guy. I like his comment where he said, yeah, I'm 7 wins this year. Have not been very impressive, 18 losses. But even Rembrandt had a few bad paintings.
They're only worth like $5 million, not $25 million. 14 points, all Illinois has allowed Purdue in the second half, as Nkemdi is turned away. And when you're the last man off the bench for a team that's doing what Illinois is doing this year, even the Chicago Sun-Times is going to cover you. Three-pointer, Xavier Price's first one. Nice story in the Sun-Times yesterday about Fred Nkemdi getting a degree in political science and headed toward law school. This is not too many could say they walked on for a #1 team in the nation. And walking off the court for the last time here at home, one of the seniors, Jack Ingram from San Antonio. He will get his electrical engineering degree in a couple of months. Nick Smith, who's getting his master's in finance, throws in a three. Fourth three-pointer of the year.
Is there anybody on this Illini team that doesn't nail three-pointers?
Nick Smith, last year, 2 key threes in the overtime win over Purdue. As Gary Ware now with his best game. Junior transfer with 12 points. After his previous best in their last game, 10 against Minnesota after Carl Landry had gone out. And Kemdy is tied up. Gene Cady leaving after 25 years at Purdue, talking about advice for young coaches.
Enjoy your day-to-day experiences with your players. Get good people around you. Have administration that understands the coaching game, understands that scheduling has a lot to do with winning and losing, understanding that injuries have a lot to do with winning and losing, and you know, kind of just give you a free rein and say, hey, you coach, and you will take care of all administrative stuff, and it will be okay.
Well, there's a key also to how he has survived as long as he is. He understands how much goes into winning and how easy it is to get off track as a program.
He also told Matt Painter that he recommends going out and recruiting some really tall, quick athletes. That will help.
That's great advice. Price. Xavier throws in back-to-back threes, and Cady wants the time. 84-48. Moments ago, Nick Smith got his final round of applause after hitting the three-pointers. Saturday, 2 great games on ESPN beginning at noon Eastern. Number 9 Louisville with a chance to clinch Conference USA outright. They take on DePaul. And then at 9 Eastern, Oklahoma State against Texas, and a Texas team that badly needs, in most eyes, to get one more impressive win on their resume, missing 2/5 of their starters. That one also available in high definition ESPN HD. How far above the pack in terms of tenure in the Big Ten was Gene Cady? Well, you have to go 15 years ago, or 15 years down, and find Tom Izzo in his 10th year, and then it's another precipitous drop. Steve Alford and Monson both in their 6th year. So no one really even in the same zip code in Big Ten tenure as the man who was leaving Purdue.
Dave, to put that graphic in perspective, when Gene Katie took over.
Oh, they hate this. Fred almost had a chance to score, and it's wiped out for traveling.
When Gene Katie took over at Purdue, Thad Matta, the head coach at Ohio State, was only a freshman in high school.
He had a career before he got to Purdue. He had success at Western Kentucky, assistant before that at Arkansas. Steal, reverse, no finish by Brandon McKnight. And it said before the game he has not decided where he and his wife Pat are going to head. They're going to get their house in West Lafayette for sale, and he just says he knows that it will be someplace warm and very likely on or near a golf course. but where that may be, still up in the air. At Kiefer, and Davis gets the follow.
You know, I want to pay a real quick tribute to Gene Katie. I played in the Big Ten against him, and he was the most intimidating guy, and that includes Bobby Knight. John Chaney at Temple, Dean Smith at North Carolina. Gene Katie is one of the greats of all time. It's been an honor to have a chance to broadcast his games.
Class from start to finish. A lot like this Illinois team, which is now 29-0. Another step toward perfection. With the best start in college basketball in the last 14 years. 84-50 is our final. So for Tim McCormick and our entire ESPN crew, this has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For the entire story, you can log on to ESPN.com. Dave Barnett, so long from Champaign, Illinois. Let's go down to Reese Davis, Doug Gottlieb, and Andy Katz at College Game Day.
Presented by Kia Motors.
I know championship week officially starts on Saturday, but it's cranking up in the Northeast Conference. Central Connecticut taking on Monmouth. CCSU, who barely got into the NEC tournament. They're the 8th seed against the top.
That 58-54 score, if Purdue has anything to say about tempo, will be something that they'll aim for tonight. A game in the 50s. If it gets to 60 or more, it's probably going to be more than they can manage, as Williams fires in his 50th three-pointer.
Illinois is absolutely loaded on the perimeter. If you look at just production and record, Illinois has the best trio of guards in all of college basketball.
And they force another turnover on both the Purdue trips, in fact.
See the three-guard attack. They're going to set a screen to free up Darren Williams. Head, Williams, and Brown can all run the point, make a three, or take it to the basket off the dribble.
And the straight-on three-pointer by Luther Head. Not there this time, and David Teague pulls down the board. If anybody can fill Carl Landry's role, it will have to be Teague, who was the second leading scorer and leader in assists. It's a different type player, though, you're talking about with Teague. Not nearly the inside threat that the powerful Carl Landry was at 6'7" and about 240 pounds.
Yeah, and the challenge here for Gene Katie, Brandon McKnight is the only playmaker that they have.
Where on the short turnaround, he actually starts in Landry's spot. 6'9" junior out of Detroit by way of Dodge City Community College, and they leave D. Brown alone. That's a mistake even from that far out, as Brown fires in his 73rd three-pointer. Illinois in the top 10 in the country, field goal percentage and three-point field goal percentage. Kiefer with the offensive board and the left-handed follow.
You know, tremendous start by Purdue. It's a slow-paced game. I know Illinois is making shots, but they're not running up and down the court dunking it. This is what Gene Katie was looking for.
slower the better as far as the Boilers and their plans. Powell screening for Head. Guarded tightly by McKnight. And now Darren Williams sets up another three for Brown, and he's 2 for 2.
If D. Brown is making his three, he's totally an NBA prospect. You know he's going to score in transition, Dave.
McKnight. Williams ahead. The one-man pass break. 1-on-2. And Kiefer rebounding the miss, but there's contact.
Growing up in Chicago, D. Brown practiced at Gallwood Park. He said the rim was horrible. You could barely make it from the perimeter, so he spent all of his time driving to the hoop. He said this summer, he spent all of his time working in the gym on mechanics. It's the first time he's ever done it, and his offensive production beyond the three has absolutely exploded.
He said before the season, if this year went the way he hoped it would, he would definitely consider passing up his senior night and going into the NBA as a junior eligible.
Yeah, that would be a big mistake.
You think?
Absolutely. You know, the thing about D. Brown is that he is not a pure point guard. He's not an Allen Iverson. But if he comes back and has a monster senior year, all of a sudden, NBA scouts look at him different. I talked to a scout this week. He said right now he's looked at as a mid to late second-round pick. If he comes back, all of a sudden, maybe he's that spark off the bench that a team's looking for.
And he'll get some good advice. If he's going to be anywhere outside of the early to mid first round, he'd be crazy to leave. But it's something he said he was honest early on he would consider. And he fires it inside for James Augustine, who is fouled and will shoot free throws when we come back. The Illini off to a 9-4 start.
Price and available only from Sports Illustrated. Call now.
To order, call 1-800-678-9500. That's 1-800-678-9500, or go online at sipackage.com.
Of college basketball is brought to you by Beck's Beer, who reminds you that life beckons and you're holding the key. And Olive Garden, when you're here, family.
9-4. Illinois on top of Purdue early. Gene Cady, 25 years wrapping up at Purdue, 512 victories, 15-20 win season, 6 Big Ten titles, 16 trips to the NCAAs. Purdue had made 3 trips before he arrived. And he's been to the Elite 8 twice, and what will always nag him, I'm sure, wherever he goes the rest of his life, even if he gets back into coaching, are the 2 near misses. The most recent in 2000, where he was stopped 1 round shy of finally making it to a Final Four, but the 7-time Big Ten Coach of the Year, and he is so respected, and it's good that everywhere he's gone, this farewell tour around the Big Ten, people have had a chance to show him and tell him exactly how highly they think of him. First 2-point try by the Illini. Their first 5 shots were threes, and Augustine was fouled on the 2-pointer, which he missed just before the timeout.
How good must it be to be James Augustine? As a freshman, he played caddy to Brian Cook. Cook made life easy. Now he plays with these guards just hustling. You're going to get a lot of easy opportunities out there.
Brandon McKnight, outgoing Purdue senior. Kiefer should be back. He's a junior. And Augustine, one of the top shot blockers in the Big Ten, now tied up by Kiefer, and the possession arrow will keep it on this end.
The dilemma for Gene Cady in this game is that to compete with Illinois, you need ball handling and strong post play. He has neither. Look at the length defensively by Augustine. Once again, McKnight is the only ball handler. They're going to try to wear him out.
Another junior, Matt Carroll, checking in for Kiefer. David Teague out of Indianapolis, followed by Head. McKnight was briefly open. Chris Hartley in the game, former walk-on, and again, Gary Ware off the glass that time. The replacement for Carl Landry with 4 of the first 6 points for the Boilers. Illinois 14-0 at home. And a streak here in the Assembly Hall of 20 straight since the Purdue visit last January 10th. Earlier this year, ended Wisconsin's 38-game home winning streak. And if there are any doubts about Illinois coming into that game, that's the game, I think, where most people around the country figured they were for real. As Williams missed 3, taken into the front court by Brandon McKnight.
Offensively, you're going to see about 25 seconds of dummy offense by Purdue. They want to milk the clock and make Illinois spend time on defense.
Saturday, ESPN has 2 great games beginning at noon Eastern. Francisco Garcia, number 9 Louisville against DePaul. The Cards, with a win tonight, now can clinch outright Conference USA. 9 Eastern. Oklahoma State, number 8, taking on Texas, still very much in need of a win, most think, to nail down that NCAA berth.
College game day is going to be down there at Oklahoma State.
It's McKnight spinning against Aaron Williams, and Purdue turns it over with an offensive foul.
Fouls on Purdue, number 32.
Matt Carroll
his first
on the offensive end with his first.
Foul on the
Bruce Weber says all the things Gene Cady taught him and all the other Cady assistants about dealing with failure and life and how you can't quit. And the tough thing about this year being his last is that he's having to live with his own teachings with this 7-18 Purdue team.
Gene Cady is such an interesting guy. He has 2 personalities.